Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Cotton, and I'm going to do a demonstration of a higher brain living session. A higher brain living session in a center is actually 45 minutes long, but we're going to compress this into about 10 minutes, but you're really going to get the point. The demonstration is quite dramatic, so I want to quickly build a little context around this. The higher part of the human brain, the prefrontal cortex, has been shown by science, by research, to be untapped potential. It's the part of the brain where we can see the goals we want to accomplish in our life, where we can take the action steps necessary to make that happen. It's where we have deep spiritual connection. It's where we have states of joy, where we can elevate our consciousness and basically accomplish our life's dreams. So what we've discovered is that through these pathways in the body, if we cue these in the right place at the right time in just the right way, a release of energy happens that moves up into that untapped part of the higher brain. And when this happens, because that potential is in there in all of us, there's a mechanism in our bodies, an untapped mechanism, that will actually engage and start this breath response we call a salutogenic breath, moving breath up to the higher brain, oxygenating the higher brain, increasing it in its metabolism. There's also a larger wave that will engage that you're going to see in Jules' body, where there's a dissipation of tension or stress out of the body. It's basically releasing the old lower primitive brain junk so that more energy can build in the higher brain. And then through this process, we help clients bring that higher brain energy to all areas of their life where they can make truly radical and transformative change and progress. So we're going to do the demonstration about 10 minutes long, and then I'm going to let Jules say a few words about her experience. By the way, this is Jules. Jules is a higher brain living client. She's also a higher brain living facilitator. She's been receiving care for a few months, and this is a very common response for someone who has been involved in the program for this level of time. So Jules, would you please lay face down? So remember, these pathways in the body have the potential to release energy if they're cued in just the right way, in just the right place at just the right time. And it looks wild, the response in the body, but the thing to remember is that we only use a very small portion of that prefrontal cortex, of that highest, most evolved part of our brain. And what you're going to see is what happens when more energy builds in that part of the brain. And this is the potential, we believe, for every single person on the planet. So I'm going to literally cue these pathways in a very specific sequence, and you're going to watch and notice a change in her breathing pattern. You see how this breath is building. That's a salutogenic breath. That's an automatic response. Her brain is engaging to increase its own metabolism, to get energy into the part of the brain where she feels empowered and where she can make change in any area of her life. And now you see the larger wave engaging in her body. We call this a salutogenic wave. It's a wave. Once oxygen is built in that higher brain, once metabolism is increased, she's now in that empowered state. This wave is now, it's like hitting the reset button on a computer. It's dumping or dissipating any stress or any tension that the lower brain may be holding on to, that lower brain that tries to create sameness in our life. That junk is getting released, so the pathways open and more energy builds in the higher brain. And she's having a feeling of well-being, that almost that sense of invincibility that's associated with energy in the higher prefrontal cortex of the brain. And as she advances through this system, she actually has a guidebook that creates the map and strategy for her to take that higher brain energy and to apply it to every area of her life and create a truly transformed life. And I know that what you see on the table looks wild, but this has a very strong scientific foundation, and it happens very consistently. One of my favorite quotes by the author and futurist Arthur C. Clarke was, "Any sufficiently advanced new technology will appear indistinguishable from magic." So this is so far advanced that when we see it, it looks like magic. But it's not. It's science. It's physiology. It's energy building in the higher part of her brain so that it cues its own mechanism to start to further build that energy into that untapped evolutionary part of the human brain. Remember, the lower brain tries to create sameness in our life. The higher brain is where we can create change, where we can grow, where we can evolve, where we can thrive. And humanity has been locked into these lower brain strategies, and this is a vehicle to shift that center of gravity into that highest part of our brain so we can literally create the life of our dreams and hopefully all create a new planet. So the breath is continuing to build. Remember, she's not doing any of this on her own. She's the witness to it. She feels it, she knows it's happening, but she's not making it happen. She's just letting it happen. The breath is an automated response. The wave-like movement is an automated response. It's coming from her higher brain. She could stop it, but the feeling when you feel it is, oh my gosh, this is the most wonderful thing I could ever imagine, and there's no desire to ever want to stop it. And the contacts are very gentle. But these pathways are what we call piezoelectric, which means that when they're compressed or stretched or contacted in just the right way, they release energy. We know that through science now. And we've patterned this out in a way, created protocols that energy moves up to the higher untapped part of the human brain and basically frees us from the habitual lower brain strategies that don't let us move forward in our life. And so although this was a very condensed version, I think you really get the point. And I'm going to have Jules set up nice and slow. Jules, I want you to set up, face the audience, and I'm going to have her say a few words about her experience. Jules, would you say a few words first about your experience on the table, like what you were feeling as that response was happening in your body? And then after that, would you just talk a little bit about what higher brain living has done for you, what going through this program has done for your life, what changes have occurred? Would you mind sharing that?
Feel is just this breath that it's not the normal breath that just comes here. It like goes all the way down into my hips. I'm just taking this huge, huge breath, and I just feel my body just beginning to expand. I feel light.
Awesome.
I don't feel like, I just feel loose, no tension. Like right now, I just feel really, really good, full of joy, and I could sit here and have a laughing session with you.
Yeah. and that joy, that empowered state through this program, you can bring that to your life, bring it to your challenges, and that's where real transformation comes from.
So how has higher brain living changed my life? I'd almost have to look at how higher brain living hasn't changed my life.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything from the moment I wake up and I am conscious, different thought patterns are going through my head. My day unravels different. My relationship, I feel like I'm a good mother. I'm a good, like I love being a mother. I love being a wife. My relationships have changed. Probably one of the biggest things that has helped encourage all of that is my sense of confidence.
Which is built through this program, through this process.
We talk about head, heart, and spine. I've always had a big heart, but losing myself in that, and now I feel like I have like this spine and everything's connected. I have greater clarity, and I just feel stronger, more confident.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Thank you. And I'm happy. So for more information, higherbrainliving.com.